said she couldn't handle being sober and she just did not want to do it anymore. She said this would be our last visit, the last time she saw us, and that we would just stay in the system. She wasn't going to get us back. Shit. When I say that was my first heartbreak, my mom was definitely my first heartbreak. At that time, being 5, I was like, why would you not want to keep trying for your kids? We love you. We miss you, and we're out here with random fucking people in the foster care system who aren't treating us right. So why would you not? I'm sorry, I'm trying to. Girl. I'm not a huge crier, and I feel like I have been crying nonstop for the past year. um, let me gather myself. I'm trying to like get my life together. Ugh, good lord. Sorry, guys. It's good to cry. There's nothing wrong with crying. There's nothing wrong with showing emotion. I feel like I'm an ugly crier. Yeah. Anyways, I couldn't understand why she didn't want to keep trying. You know, like you carry these children. At that point, there was 6 of us living, 5 of us all together at that visit. And I just couldn't understand why she didn't want to keep trying. That was the end of that visit. She let us know that she did not want to keep trying. And I didn't see her again. I'm 32 now, and I still have not seen my mother in person, face to face, since the age of 5. Now she's gone because somebody decided to selfishly take her life last year. After that visit, fast forward a bit, I am 6 and I get adopted with my older sister. Now, I'm going to have to come up with fake names so I can tell these stories more fluently, but for now, I'll just continue. The family that I was adopted into had a mother and a father. The mother was Caucasian, the father was Black. They had one child together, which was a little girl at the time. Her name, again, I'll have to make up a name, but she was 6 at the time that I was adopted. So we were the same age. Her birthday is December 12th, and mine is March 12th. So we're 3 months apart. The little girl had 2 older brothers from her mom from previous engagements. She had 2 older brothers who were Caucasian. The family was blended, which was nice to see. They were previously long-term foster parents in Oregon. The family lived in Oregon. We were living in California, me and my sister. This is the story of how they found us. Back then, I guess you could just look at children that needed adopting in catalogs, like you would order a damn pizza or something. They saw me and they were like, oh my goodness, she's so cute. She's the same age as our daughter. Their daughter wanted a sister. And I guess they stopped doing foster care. So they were like, okay, we'll adopt. They saw me in a catalog, and I guess I was the perfect match for their daughter to have a sister. So they chose me. But then as they flipped the page, they saw my sister, my older sister, and they saw that we were not allowed to be separated. We had to stay together. So if they wanted me, they had to take her too. I know that doesn't sound great, but that's the truth. That's what they told us the story was, is that they saw me, wanted me, but then flipped the page, saw that I had a sibling that I had to stay with, so they took the both of us. We went through a process, the process of, getting to know them. Back then it was VHSs. So we didn't even have Skype or Voodoo or FaceTime or none of that, right? In the 90s. Late 90s. So we were sending get to know you videos via VHS. So we would record with a video camera on the VHS tape, mail it to them. They'd watch it, they'd film their own, the family would, and then they'd mail it back to the DHS office so we could see it at our next visit. So that's how we did video exchanges. Now, I don't know how long that process was. I don't know if it was 6 months. I don't know if we got to know each other over the full year. I don't really remember the details of that, but we got to know the family through video. I was so excited to meet my new sisters. I still hadn't seen my mom again at that point. And I was sad about that. Part of me was sad because I was like, if I'm adopted, that means I'm never going to see my mom again. But at the same time, I was like, my mom already told me she didn't want to keep trying to see me. So at least there's a family that wants me. So that was exciting to think about. The family came to California for the court proceeding to finalize the adoption of me and my older sister. We went through the court proceeding and the judge granted the adoption, papers were signed, and photos were taken, and we were ready to go. We all piled up in this van that they had and we road tripped all the way from Stockton to Canby, Oregon. That's where they lived at the time. Canby, Oregon. That's where I moved to. Woo! Not highly populated in Black people whatsoever. So imagine that. The ride up to Oregon was fun. Back then, child, we was doing crazy reckless shit. So they had us sitting in the back of the van. I'm talking like the backpack, the trunk, and trying to fit us all in there. Me and my new sister, we were sipping on Capri Suns, eating snacks, and just talking and getting to know each other. Definitely was excited to have a new sibling and a new family. As me and my adopted sister are getting to know each other, we pull up. We're in Oregon. As soon as we hop out of the van, my new older sister put her arm around me and she was like, we're going to be best friends forever. I was like, period. That's how that began. And then that's where my life started here in Oregon. So we're gonna wrap it up for this first episode. Very brief, but an intro to my upbringing and my life. But I'm excited to share my life with y'all, where I've come from, how much I've grown. You'll still see how much growing I need to do. I'm mature, but trust me, there's still growing that all of us need to do, right? So if you feel like you're perfect and you can't grow no more, you're already in the hole. As long as you know that you can still be teachable and you can still learn, then you're good. You're golden. We're going to wrap this episode up. I will divulge into the beginnings of my life here in Oregon and how that was going and how that went, as well as my adoption and my adopted family, and if that turned out to be good or not so good. But we'll get into that more next episode. Again, I appreciate y'all for being here and just listening to my story. I appreciate you, bestie. Till next episode. Saundra Unveiled. Let's talk about it.